Hello, my name is Amanda and you're watching Random How To. Today I want to show you how to easily flavor your home-brewed kombucha. So what you're going to need to flavor your kombucha is obviously your 7-day, at the very least, fermented kombucha. I, at the moment, have a larger glass random container that I use. It holds about 3 gallons, so I'm going to be using those big gallon glass jars with the spouts on them to actually transfer the fermented kombucha into them to flavor them. But if you only have about a gallon of fermented kombucha, you can use a mason jar or some bottles that you saved of kombucha that you bought from the store. Whatever you want to use, just make sure it's glass and that you have a lid for the top that you can fasten tightly. And then also, whatever fruit you want to use. I personally have, from the summertime when the fruit was very ripe and very cheap, I bought a bunch of strawberries and blueberries and things like that, and I froze them to use throughout the winter to make kombucha. So I have some strawberries here that I'm going to heat up in the microwave, and I also have some ginger root that I'm going to use to flavor the kombucha. But you can use anything. You can use blueberries, raspberries, whatever flavor you enjoy most. You can play around with any combination. I find that ginger really helps flavor the kombucha no matter what else you put in with it, so I always use ginger. But like I said, you can choose whatever flavor you would like to use. Okay, so the first thing you want to do after you get your fruit or whatever you're going to put into it for the flavoring prepared, you're going to want to take the top off here of your kombucha, and I'm just going to put the SCOBY. This SCOBY particularly is really big because whatever size jar that you make the kombucha in is how big the SCOBY is going to form. So I'm just going to take this whole SCOBY out with clean hands, by the way, and just place it right in this mason jar. And then I'm going to take some of the kombucha and fill the SCOBY jar up so that it stays nice and ready to use. And then I'm just going to take the cloth with the rubber band and cover the SCOBY back up and just set it aside for right now. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my jar here and fill it up with the kombucha. And I'll save you the trouble of watching that process. So I'll be back when that's filled up. Okay, so I've got my 2-gallon glass jars filled up with the already fermented kombucha, and I have the strawberries and the ginger that I grated. And I'm just simply going to put half of the strawberries in the one jar and half in the other. Doesn't have to be precise. And then same thing with the ginger. I'm just going to evenly eyeball it and put half in there and half in the other one. Okay, and then literally all you do is tightly secure the caps. You're just going to put these jars again in a pantry or somewhere where they'll be undisturbed, relatively warm if you can. And what's going to happen is so this is the second fermentation. The kombucha is basically going to now feed off of what you just put in there, the fruit and the ginger, and it's going to flavor the entire drink. And I normally leave the second fermentation for about 2 to 3 days, sometimes longer. But the longer you leave it, the more vinegary it's going to taste. So it's up to you, whatever you prefer. I like it not so vinegary, so but at the same time, the longer you do let it sit, the more carbonated it'll become as well. So I like the fizzy carbonation that it produces. So anyway, this is it. You just transfer the fermented kombucha into the jars you want to use and put whatever fruit you want to flavor it with and tighten it and leave it for a couple more days. And then what you're going to do once the 2 or 3 days or however long you want to keep it fermented for the second fermentation, you're just going to put it right in the fridge. And once it's cold, it's good to go. So thanks for watching.